Is it done shaking? It is. I have a letter that I wrote for my ex-boyfriend, and I'm going to read it to you instead of sending it to him. A little bit of detail first. I was in a relationship for nearly 3 years with this guy from a different country. It was a long-distance relationship. He was in the United States, but he was in a different state. We did meet in person more than once. He did stay, actually, even at my family's house during the holidays. He met my family, my friends, and we were very serious, and we wanted to get married. He broke up with me because he couldn't convince his parents to allow him to marry an American, basically. Yeah, I never met them. I never got the chance to. I asked many times to meet them, but his response was that just wasn't possible. But I don't know. And this was a month ago he broke up with me, and he is going to get an arranged marriage next month. Yeah. So is my life. Oh yeah, they don't even have the girl picked out yet. Yep. So, I'm going to read this. I'm probably going to breathe really heavily and be like, because this is a really long letter. It's not long, it's just long-winded. Okay. Let me take a deep breath. And I want to say a disclaimer real quick. I'm not going to say any details that can give hints of who he actually is or be traced back to him. Because there are very personal things in here. And if I give, like, his country or his field of study, then it is possible for people to actually narrow down who this guy is. And I'm not intending to shame him at all. And I don't really want that. So, an ex-boyfriend, if you are watching, you're probably really upset that I'm reading this. But this is the closure letter. But I don't think he'll ever see this. And if he did, he'd probably be very angry. Because there's some things that he would not be very happy about me putting on YouTube. Let's get started. If you open this, I'm assuming you are ready to hear my side. Let me breathe deeply because this will be long. This is where I'm going to tell you all. Before, all I did was blame myself. Here I do that as well, but in a more realistic way. Here I'm going to tell you how I got over you and why I realize it's okay. Please do not take offense to this, as I am speaking bluntly, but not to blame or attack you. This is what I realized and how my romantic feelings for you died. I realized you never loved me, at least not the way I loved you, and that's okay. Maybe you don't know love. It really is my fault. I only have myself to blame. In the beginning, I looked past your perversion for a shallow reason. You looked good on paper. I just wanted to go on a date with a person who studies his profession. Ever since I was a kid, I had an interest in his field of study. It intrigued me. And so for that reason, I kept talking at first. It was my fault. Later on, you did things like jerk off on camera and sent the girl that picture. I can't quite explain why I took you back. When I met you in person, I thought you were very sweet. I was insecure and I got attached. In the beginning, there were other signs besides those things. You told me from the start it wouldn't work out. You warned me. My friends warned me. You were not the type to marry an American. And later on, when I confessed I was falling in love with you, you blew me off and never said it back or acknowledged it. Then later, as I became more attached, you became more distant. And it was obvious you knew how it would end and did not possess the same strong feelings I had for you. I realized I was in love with a fantasy. I learned all this by rereading every old message, reliving every memory. I was 110% in, and you were maybe 50% at most. But you never hid this. There were multiple red flags I saw, and yes, there was a lot of drama throughout the relationship. I was so insecure. Everyone had someone. I was lonely, already attached to you, and loyal to a fault. I should have left. To be honest, I never should have dated you. I was so insecure and later got caught up in the fantasy of going to his country, being a part of some exotic culture. But that's the thing. You never let me into your world. Men who love women go to the ends of the earth for them. I have a friend. He is going to, same country, to convince his family in person. I was never a priority. I'm sorry to say that I do not mean this in a rude way, but it is true. My feelings, my time were not valued like that of a woman loved, and it is after seeing all that, realizing all this, that I was able to let go. Not through hate, though there was a time I was resentful, but I understood. I saw I was so afraid to be alone, to lose you. When you got distant, I would get clingy, and that only made you pull farther away. My eyes became clear. I saw what I thought I had was a delusion. I'm sorry I put expectations on you that you were not able to meet. You only know how to do what is expected of you, to play the role that is placed before you, what you have been raised to do. You were raised to obey, and that's what you know. I don't know if you know what love is. I don't know if I was able to show you, and I don't know if you will ever experience that same love that you did with me. I really did love you, I did. I hope you were able to feel that. Yes, I made a mistake in dating you, but I cannot say that I regret it. I had many happy moments with you, even though I cried more than you will ever know. I went crazy. My insecurities got the best of me. To be honest, I feel less stressed and free now. Before, I was enslaved by obsession and fear of losing you, losing my dream. No, I can't say I regret it. You were safe, kind, and I loved the good morning messages. It's hard to trust. I know, it is, but with you, I knew you weren't dangerous. You may not have been right for me. I certainly fell in love with the wrong person, but maybe at least I gave that person something they didn't know. You told me you had never opened up to anyone like you had me. I saw how happy you looked when you opened up the birthday presents, the look in your eyes when you looked at me. All this time, I selfishly felt bad for myself, when really I should have felt bad for you. I want you to be happy despite everything. You are not strong. We're not. I thought since you grew up in third world country, you would be strong. But I didn't know. I don't blame you. Again, I saw the signs. I ignored them. I do give you credit for trying. Maybe you're not strong, but you weren't horrible. I expected you to be some white knight who would save me from my loneliness. But that's not fair. I had expectations on a person who never gave any indication of coming close to them. It was my fault. You warned me. I just didn't listen. That is my conclusion. That is my closure. What I have said in the other pages still holds true. So there was an additional letter to this that was like, basically, I hope things are good for you. I have nothing against you kind of thing. And this was these are the things that I realized were wrong about us being together letter. So, sorry, it was way out of breath there, but yeah. So, I don't know if he'll ever see this video. Like I said, knowing him, he would not be happy about me saying that, but that's my closure for him, and